People always tell me, "You're so brave for cruising solo." But honestly, solo cruising isn't about bravery. It's about freedom. No waiting for others, no compromising on plans, and complete control over your experience. And here's the thing. Solo cruising is more popular than ever. Cruise lines are adding more solo cabins, creating more solo-friendly activities, and making solo travel more accessible than ever before. If you've ever thought about taking a cruise on your own, 2025 is the year to do it. However, solo cruising comes with its own challenges. From high prices due to single supplements to navigating dining alone, making the most of entertainment, and ensuring safety while exploring, there's a lot to think about. But don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll have all the tips you need to cruise solo confidently and make the most of your trip. And stick around until the end, because there's one big mistake that can completely ruin your solo cruise. One that I've made before, and I don't want you to do the same. One of the biggest drawbacks of solo cruising is the dreaded single supplement, the extra charge solo travelers have to pay because cruise pricing is based on 2 people per cabin. Some solo cruisers end up paying nearly double just to travel alone. But there are ways around it. First, some cruise lines have dedicated solo cabins that don't have a supplement. Norwegian Cruise Line, Virgin Voyages, and P&O have ships with these, and they often come with perks like access to exclusive lounges for solo travelers. However, these cabins book up fast, so you'll need to plan ahead. If solo cabins aren't available, look for guarantee fares. These are discounted cabins where the cruise line assigns your room. You won't get to choose your exact cabin, but you'll often pay less. And if you have flexibility, book during wave season, the period between January and March, when cruise lines offer the best deals. Some even waive the single supplement altogether. Dining alone on a cruise can feel intimidating, but it really doesn't have to be. The beauty of solo cruising is that you get to eat where you want, when you want, without worrying about anyone else's preferences. If you love meeting new people, ask to be seated at a shared table in the main dining room. The cruise line will pair you with other travelers, and you might end up making new friends. But if you prefer your own company, request a table for one. Another great option is specialty dining. Many solo cruisers find that dining in specialty restaurants feels more relaxed than sitting at a big table in the main dining room. Plus, bar seating in the buffet is also an excellent way to have a casual meal without feeling too isolated. One thing that can make solo dining feel a bit awkward is that long wait between courses. Bring a book, scroll through your photos from the day, or simply enjoy the people watching. The best part, you can take your time or finish quickly without worrying about anyone else. If there is club dining on a cruise ship, I always request this when traveling solo, as you will be seated at the same table with the same people throughout your cruise, and you will also have the same waiters. I sat with other solo cruisers on my recent Caribbean cruise on P&O Britannia and had a great time. One of the biggest misconceptions about solo cruising is that you'll feel lonely. But what most people don't realize is that cruise lines actually organize solo traveler meetups. So you'll always have an opportunity to meet others cruising alone. Many major cruise lines, including P&O, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean, host solo meetups early in the cruise, usually on embarkation day or the first sea day. These events are listed in the daily schedule, and they're a fantastic way to connect with other solo travelers right away. Some ships with solo cabins, like Norwegian's Studio Lounge, have dedicated spaces where solo travelers can meet up informally throughout the cruise. The key to making the most of these events is showing up early and being open to chat with new people. Many solo travelers attend these meetups for the same reason: to find others to explore the ship with, share meals, or even book excursions together. Even if you're naturally introverted, attending a solo meetup can make your cruise more enjoyable. You might meet someone you click with, or at the very least, recognize familiar faces around the ship, making your solo trip feel more connected. Cruise ships are designed to be social, and entertainment is one of the best ways to immerse yourself in the experience. Shows, live music, and interactive events are perfect for solo travelers because they don't require social interaction but still make you feel part of the atmosphere. For interactive activities like trivia, karaoke, or game shows, just show up and join a team. Cruise passengers are usually friendly and welcoming, so it's an easy way to meet people without any pressure. If you're unsure about what to do in the evenings, check the daily schedule in advance so you always have something lined up. Exploring ports as a solo traveler is exciting, but safety and logistics become even more important when you're on your own. I would always therefore do my research for every location I intend to visit. Look at TripAdvisor, join Facebook groups for your intended cruise, and of course get ideas from YouTube channels like mine. Booking shore excursions through the cruise line is the safest option since the ship will wait for you if the tour runs late. But excursions booked directly with the cruise line are often more expensive and structured. If you want more flexibility, consider booking with third-party companies like Viator or Get Your Guide. Just make sure the return time allows plenty of buffer before sail away. On my recent Caribbean cruise, I did several tours with local vendors and always had a great time and felt safe. They always allow plenty of time to get back to the ship. For ultimate freedom, exploring independently is a fantastic option. Research the port in advance, decide on a few key places to visit, and plan your route. Always carry a digital copy of your passport, share your location with a friend or family member, and be aware of local scams. In my experience as a solo cruiser, I ended up on several excursions with other solo cruisers, so I was never on my own. One of the biggest myths about solo travel is that it's lonely. In reality, solo cruising gives you a level of freedom that's impossible to get when traveling with others. Want to sleep in and have breakfast on your balcony? Go for it. Want to see 3 different shows in one night? No problem. Want to spend hours watching the waves from the deck? No one will rush you. Solo travel isn't about being alone. It's about having the choice. Some days you might want to be social and join in activities, while other days you might enjoy the quiet. The beauty of a cruise is that you get to decide how much or how little you engage with others. If the idea of cruising solo feels a little overwhelming, one of the best ways to ease into it is by starting with a short cruise, just like you would for a weekend city break. Many cruise lines offer 2 to 5 night sailings, often departing from major ports like Southampton, Barcelona, or Miami. These shorter cruises are perfect for first-time solo cruisers because they allow you to get a feel for the experience without committing to a long trip. On a short cruise, you can test out dining alone, figure out if you enjoy solo shore excursions, and get used to navigating a ship on your own. Plus, because the trip is short, you'll know that if you don't love it, you haven't invested too much time or money. That being said, be mindful that some short cruises, especially weekend ones, attract party crowds, which might not be the atmosphere you're looking for. If you want a more relaxed experience, choose a midweek sailing or a cruise known for its mix of travelers rather than just big groups. There's a reason solo travelers love cruising. It's one of the most social ways to travel. Unlike solo city breaks, where you might have to put in effort to meet people, cruising makes it easy. Whether it's a casual conversation at the buffet, meeting someone at a show, or joining a group tour at a port, socializing happens naturally. So if you've ever felt nervous about traveling alone, a cruise is one of the safest and most enjoyable ways to do it. I have traveled to over 70 countries, mostly on my own, and cruising is the most sociable solo traveling I have ever done. Before we wrap up, I want to share one mistake I made on my first solo cruise: not planning my evenings in advance. When you're cruising with others, there's always someone suggesting what to do next. But as a solo traveler, if you don't plan ahead, you might find yourself wandering the ship at night, unsure of where to go. To avoid this, check the daily schedule each evening and pick 1 or 2 things to do the next day. This simple trick keeps your cruise feeling exciting and prevents that "what should I do now?" moment that can sometimes make solo travel feel a little awkward. If you've made it this far, you're clearly serious about solo cruising. So, what's stopping you? Let me know in the comments. Have you taken a solo cruise before? Or are you considering it? And thanks for watching.